Hello there, YouTube. How the hell are you? My name is Vac, and this is Mortytown TV. So come on in, sit on down. We're going to play some Marvel Strike Force today. And we're beginning our day at war with Ordahan, which is a clear shell alliance. It's not hard to see that. They have one member. They are a Gold 3 Alliance, 877 points, one member. And I'm willing to bet that that one member doesn't even have a defense set up, and that they're losing down on purpose. So that makes this clearly a shell alliance. So anyway, I've called to full clear medbay here just so we can open up all of the other autofill teams and just figure out where the bridge is at, where the reactor's at. Make sure that if we don't full clear, we at least get those. We might full clear. It's a very, very real possibility. So I'm just going to go ahead and begin the day with some horrendous punch downs while we wait for people to jump into the channel and for this thing to fill up. Let me pull up the chat here. Okay, so going down to the bottom of my order, we're not using any of that stuff. We're still going to use our 12 war teams. It's just that, you know, not going to be a whole lot to throw them up against. So let's go with a 400 and some odd K punch down, shall we? Let's just keep this thing going. There's something in my eye. Anyway. So it looks like it's a free win today on the war, and that's fine with me because I needed to build up some boosts, some defense boosts anyway. So it looks like I'm not going to need to spend any today. So I will still continue to spend my attack energy and make a good effort on us full clearing this so that we can make the maximum number of points that we can out of this opportunity. This is just going to be an easy floating win today. Mr. Ortiz, welcome and good morning, sir. So, yeah, Shell Alliance. We're just rolling through here. I'm going to put my 2 energy toward this and then come back to it later. We got Dark Dimension 3 to do this morning. We're into the global phase now. So, I can't lean on my Black Order, but we'll get back to them later. So for now, we're just going to blow some energy, take out some of these autofill teams, help us drill down and find the reactor and the bridge. And we'll do our raids and stuff like that. You know, we're going to try to get everything done today. 2 medics, smart move, that might save them. There we go. Could have probably just basicked through that whole thing, and that would have took care of it. But we'll take the easy points and move on. So first things first. I don't have a lot of T4s and symbiotes, honestly. I have one in the basic for Symbiote Spider-Man, and that's it. But I've been focusing my T4s mostly into Black Order. But if you'd like, I will look that up for you. There are handy resources on Discord. Symbiote Spider-Man passive, Carnage passive, Venom ultimate, Miles special, Venom special, Symbiote Spider-Man ultimate, Symbiote Spider-Man basic, Carnage ultimate. That is according to the gurus of Marvel Strike Force. I have not really dug into to the point values on any of that. But if you go looking at them, that passive probably is pretty good. Let's see here. Yep, 20% additional health. Which is actually pretty beefy. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Great place to start. What up? Good to see you, Mortys. Paul, nice to see you. Mr. Brunk. I mean, my stomach is still a little queasy, but I've had a little cough, but nothing terrible. I'm hoping it's all psychosomatic and I'm just nervous, but we'll find out. I should get a call tomorrow or the day after with my results, and I'll know then. Okay, so first things first, we'll go to the store and we're going to farm up as much good stuff as we can get. And a couple of red star orbs here, I guess, from the from finishing the blitz. And as I could have predicted, it was just dupes. We got every character to 4 till they release some new characters. We got Squirrel Girl to 4, and I don't even have her yet. We do have some orbs here we got from finishing raids yesterday. All right. Now we're going to grab our stuff, whatever it looks like we really could use here. We definitely need catalysts. Don't need those as much now, but we're probably going to be back to buying them again before long. And let's see here. Definitely trying to build up some defense boost. So anyway, just as some reminders, we are trying to fill up a second alliance and become a cluster. Well, we're pretty much are a cluster now. We're just trying to fill up the second alliance. We got a handful of spots left. So if you're interested, if you're under 4 million total collection power and you're interested in joining Mortytown, we got a spot for you. And if you're above 4 million, we got a spot for you probably also. Just jump into the cluster Discord. Everybody's welcome. Link in the description below. There's places there to apply, specifically in the Morty Mart channel is where you can apply to join us. And there are places there where you can chat with the Mortys, hang out at Blips and Shits, and play Roy, whatever you're into. Show off your roster, check out my roster. Definitely no slackers. Definitely no slackers. Well, I mean, as we fill up, we're certainly not going to keep inactive members when we can pick up, you know. Like, I'm not trying to be a hard ass about anything, but it's when you get to the point where you're performing so badly that you're become a detriment to your fellow Mortys, then it's time to say something. And if you're not around for me to say something to, then we're just going to cut you. So moving right along here, we'll save our war credits from all of that. Let's see now. Mantis is a thought, but no, I don't use her that much. And we'll hang on to that. Yeah, we got 18 people in the Alliance and only 10 of them are in the raid. Like, that's pretty poor. That's pretty poor. We have people that haven't been online in as many as 3 days, and those people are likely going to get cut. There's no point in cutting them now because we're not full. I tried to recruit somebody to run this second alliance because doing this twice, I mean, I do this for the Mortytown Locos too, and just doing this kind of administration twice over has really been a drain on my time. All right, so next up, we buy our energy, 600 cores worth every day. This is how I got where I am, in no small part because of this. If you're spending money on the game, that's the place to start. Bam. All right. I'm keeping up with it for now, but as it grows, it's going to become more difficult for me. And I'm trying to, not only train new Mortys there, but train new officers. So anyway, let's see now. I don't think we got a specific character we need to go after just yet. I'd love it if we can get what we need to get Venom finished out, but I think he needs more of those scans. Yeah, superior molecular scans. We're still short on those. Mini uniques, man, they get you every time. They get you every time. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the campaign nodes and work our way back and just pick up everything that's got something useful in it that we want. Like we know we need those. We know we need these isomers, and we also need damage catalysts. There's never enough of that. We know we need health catalysts. Definitely need resistance catalysts. We're doing good on basic catalysts. We get a lot of them for finishing Dark Dimension 3. But everything else we're starting to run a little short on as we use up and get people to tier 14. Actually, I don't need that one. What am I doing? All right, so back to villains. We definitely need the resistance catalysts. Now, when I'm fresh and new in the game, you don't do this. You spend this energy on character shards. And maybe one of these mornings I'll show you what I do on Baxos. Because I always have like 5 characters that I have favorited at the top, and those are the characters that I'm actively farming at that moment. And then when I spend my energy farming them, I just go down the list, and everyone who isn't 6 stars, from the top to the bottom, farm them. Get as many shards as you can. I don't really farm gear on Baxos, and I haven't. He's up to 4 million total collection power. And I've done very little gear farming, just some targeted gear farming on characters like Ultron and etc. And his arena team, right? Otherwise, I mostly focus on getting character shards that will open up my next legendary. And that's like right now he's working hard on Phoenix, he's working hard on Black Bolt, and that's really where most of my focus goes. All right, let's see now. We got 300 left. Isomers, need them isomers. Yeah, Symbiote Spider-Verse is a pretty useful team all around. They're good in a lot of different game modes. Yeah. We'll full clear that one, and we'll get 90 of this one. All right, beautiful. Okay, so that was a whole mess of gear and upgrade. You know, the level of the training mats. That's gear, training mats. That's gold. That's a good little jump every morning, spending 1,000 energy. And that's pretty much my secret to success. Now, I don't mean to imply that's all I buy. There's some people who seem to take that way. I mean to say that that's the beginning. Like that if you're not going to spend any further than that, that's fine. But that is a major secret to success, is to put those 600 cores into that energy refreshing. And those 600 cores, you'll find that once you get to a point where you're finishing high in arena, not only, stay swifty, Paul, take it easy, buddy. Not only will you earn most of those cores back, but you know, well, that's the main thing, right? Like you get in here and you're finished number 1 every day, and you're only spending 100 cores a day, and 100 cores a day ain't jack, right? That's like $1 and change. And so that's how you keep your costs low. Okay, so, I'd like to buy those, but I'm slacking off on the whaling right now. I don't know when I'm going to get to go back to work. And I have been paying double mortgage payments, but I'm going to have to back off of that now. I'm pretty close to paying off the house. But what I'd like to do now, when I'm taking that money and I'm putting it into rebuilding my back deck, is what I hope to do. I'd like to landscape the front too, just for a little more curb appeal. I can see where I might have to sell this place in the next 5 years, so I'm trying to prep for that. I am off work because I am awaiting a COVID-19 test result. I was exposed to a coworker he's tested positive, and he got sick because we have another coworker who knew damn well that his wife and his kid were sick. He went to a wedding and got sick there, and he knew his wife and kid were sick, and he kept coming to work anyway. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Burrows. I appreciate you saying that, man. I live on that kind of feedback. Thank you so much for saying that. I try. I'm pretty new at this streaming thing myself, so you're new with me, and we're glad to have you. I've been playing the game since release, but this whole YouTuber thing is pretty new to me. I'm kind of a novice at it. I look at guys like Valley and OMG and Casino, and their production value is undeniably better. And I hope to learn from them, you know, as time goes by. I've had my occasional chat with Casino. I'm a viewer of his stream here and there. We often stream at the same time these days, so not so much anymore, but I catch what I can. I try to watch all the big three, just to, if nothing else, just to learn from what they're doing. So a lot more orbs to open here, but we're gonna grab all these up. And I think our next order of business, we can knock out maybe raids real fast. Although if you guys would rather see Dark Dimension 3 right now, we can just jump straight into DD3. I got to do that this morning also. Probably not going to take too very long. That's the nature of Dark Dimension 3. You get in there and you get your teeth kicked in, and you take your lumps for the day and you move on. Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate you saying that. And welcome back to the stream, Mr. Bishop. DD3 it is. So we are just starting the global phase. We've finished off the 4 nodes here, these 4 nodes that start off things where you can use anybody. We're finished with that. We did some pretty good work in there with Black Order, so I look forward to using them more in the cosmic phase. So here in global, we're mostly going to have to lean on Phoenix. So what we're going to do, we'll go with Ultron and let's say Nick Fury. And mostly this is all about Phoenix. And the only real goal here is to get Phoenix's Dark Phoenix's ultimate off. That's the only thing you're looking to do. That's the best you're gonna do, right? You're not gonna come in here and clear this node in one shot. It's not happening, right? These are some of the best characters in the game. They're all 100K. Well, I mean, barring Ultron, obviously. And still, like, we have, the reason we brought Nick Fury in is so that he can do this and give everybody defense ups, right? But here's the thing. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a full 10 characters on this field right now. And they all do massive amounts of damage. So if I stealth the group right now, Phoenix is going to die twice and quickly before anybody else comes out of stealth. And then I won't get to use her ultimate. So we're just going to hope they kill Phoenix on their own without me having to do that. What you really hope for is that they come in and they kill Phoenix quickly right off the bat, and then from there they kind of start focusing on other people. Hopefully that'll clear this taunt. Beautiful. Now who do we? Well, we're gonna have to taunt our. We're gonna have to clone ourselves a Strife because we don't really have a choice. But since he's taunting now, she's taunting, and hopefully we can. They're either gonna hit this clone I don't care about, or they're gonna hit Phoenix, which is who I want them to hit for right now. So if you don't get the ultimate off, the best damage you're gonna do still is gonna be when Phoenix spawns into Dark Phoenix right here. Blam! That's some of the best damage. That's more damage right there than anybody else on this team has done so far in the fight. And then this, of course, is going to about triple that damage right here. And then now what we're just hoping to do is keep her alive long enough to get off her ultimate. Right? So in the interest of that, we're going to taunt again with Colossus. We're going to just keep laying in damage where we can. The rest of these guys are basically cannon fodder at this point. They've done their big things. We're going to do a little healing here with Mr. Sinister, but that's not really having that huge an effect. And so then what we're going to want to do here is just keep her alive long enough to hit this ultimate, and then anything we can do after that is gravy. And then we're going to refresh them, and we're going to resurrect Phoenix for the next attack and do it one more time. They got me ability blocked, so that's bad. That's very bad. But hopefully we can keep her alive for one more. I'm not sure that I like my odds because Colossus is going down pretty quick, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Now, normally what you do, and this is time consuming and it doesn't look very good on a stream, but here, let's flood the field and give them more people to attack. It doesn't look good on a stream, but normally what you'll do is if you don't get her ultimate off, you cancel the fight. You back out. You do it again until you get it done, until you can get that off, because that's most of your progress. It looks like maybe we might get lucky and squeak in here. Oh, they fucking Strife ability blocked her again. So there we go. We didn't get it. Right now, what you'd want to do then normally is just back out, quit the battle right here, and redo it all, and just redo it all. I don't particularly care to use up this much stream time doing that, though. I don't mind going through this just a little slower. So we're just going to eat that, right? But what you're really looking to do is keep her alive long enough. What we're going to do on the second run is we're going to make sure that any protectors are far away from her. But that just didn't work. Usually you kind of do want her right next to Colossus, but that didn't work out in our favor this time because they kept using that ability block. So we'll just get as much damage as we can out of these guys now, but they're going to go down pretty quickly. And this is really the hardest part of any Dark Dimension, really, is when you're facing a full 10 like this. When they got a full suite of, these characters are boosted all to hell, and when you're having to face double your number of them, it's hard to stand up to that. And that's one of the reasons I like Yo-Yo in this situation so much, is that, yeah, we're on the 5th node, Thomas, and welcome to the stream, sir. We're on the 5th node here, yeah, and, Yo-Yo works out pretty well because she's just cutting everybody's damage in half. It's real hard for any tank to stand up to this barrage for long, particularly your classic taunt and tank, heavy armor kind of tank. There's just, there's some really beefy tanks like that in the game. They've only got so many hit points. So we're going to give that one more shot. We're going to go with Yo-Yo, Coulson, and then we'll bring, let's say, Sinister and Ultron back in again. I would bring Nick Fury, he'd be a better choice, but it's a long cooldown on his defense up ability, and he's not going to get to use it probably. So we're just gonna bring this in as a second run, and then we're going to call it a day, right? Because I don't like to spend too many cores on this. You'll get through faster spending cores, but the rewards are the same. Like there's literally, it's going to be there when you get there. And don't get me wrong, I want to get there quick because I'm going to use it to jump all of my Black Order characters to 6 red stars. But it's a long process. This whole game is about incremental progress, so there's no need to get in too big of a rush. So what we're going to do is we're going to wear these characters down over a course of days, pretty much. This probably is going to be the slowest section for me. Is going to be this global section. I mean, it's nice to have Phoenix here, but I feel like when we get to Cosmic and we can start using Black Order, that's going to work a little better. So this is where you do all your damage, right? She spawns as Dark Phoenix. Everybody that doesn't resist gets a defense down on them, which is beautiful right off the bat. And then you get to follow up with that nice little shot, and that's more damage than we might have done in the whole previous fight for the most part. And then you just want to keep the pressure on and try to keep her alive now until. And thankfully, she didn't get ability block there, so we're not facing the same problem that we did last time. And let's just keep pushing. They're good. We're doing good. Okay, now this is what we were aiming to do. This right here, this is going to be in one shot more damage than we did in the entire previous fight. All right, let's clone that Magneto. I'm betting that I probably need to, I'm probably soon going to need to call a new room on the war. I mean, they're all empty, so it's not a big deal, but I want to keep the Mortys rolling, you know what I mean? The rewards that I'm going to get today, I'm going to get way more out of that war than I am Dark Dimension 3. We'll try to heal a little bit since he's blinded. Now we're probably going to fold quickly because there went Yo-Yo. So they basically just doubled their damage with that. Did he just clone my clone of his? Oh my gosh. This is madness. Everybody's blinded. We're not doing nothing here. All right, so let's see about getting some robots down. Kind of flood the field. Maybe they'll attack them a little more than us. I don't know. Pretty much done our bit here. We killed several of them. That made some good progress. That's the best progress we made on this node yet. No doubt about it. And that's essentially my goal, is to get 1 or 2 Phoenix alts off every day, and that'll make you progress through the nodes. Yeah, I'm not gonna do 3 attacks, but we're almost halfway through it. I also don't want to do a bunch of resets, because sometimes you might have to reset 2-3 times to get that ult off. And when you're playing at home by yourself and you're just looking to get through this as efficiently as possible, that is 100% what you should do. I just, and, you know, it gets a little boring after a while for me, and I know it would be for you. So we're not doing that. Let's go check how we're looking on the war. We did find the bridge. We did find the bridge, and there's nobody on it. So more than likely, this one guy that's in this alliance is not set up anywhere on this defense at all. I mean, if I really wanted to, man, I mean, I'd just drop a 20 every day and spend cores refreshing and attacking as much as possible just to get myself to that end zone as quick as I can. But I'm trying to be efficient in my core expenditures right now. There's other places I want to put my money, and my income is dropping thanks to this whole COVID thing. So, I mean, it dropped anyway because I'm uncomfortable working overtime ever since COVID-19 started, and we had to go back to work. I felt like we had to go back a little prematurely, and it's certainly apparent to me now that the company's protocols for this are insufficient. You know, people are basically on the honor system, and I'm looking at the fact that I got sick because somebody just lied and kept coming to work anyway, knowing full well that everybody in their house had COVID-19, and they were like, well, fuck it, I don't have a fever, I'm going to work. And they kept coming to work until they had a fever, and they wouldn't let them in the door anymore because they check our fevers at the gate. Yeah, I'm going to get some unemployment. that's not anywhere near my normal paycheck, so it doesn't reduce my income. Yep. Phoenix is definitely what gets you through Dark Dimension 3. So okay, we got DD3 done. We're looking good in the Alliance War. Well, that is pretty crappy, but I would be mad at your employer for underpaying you. Yeah, we can let the U7 build a minute, and we'll jump into Strike Team 3 because that has the fewest people in it. And then I typically like to, on this one, I like to jump into Spider-Verse and take that lane. And they'll roll through these, at least this first half of this raid lane, fairly easy. Fans are kicking in like I'm working them too hard. Exactly, right? Like if you're only making about what they're paying on unemployment here, which is not much, like you're probably a vastly underpaid employee. You know, like the job that I do now makes good money. But 100 years ago, it paid pennies, and they hired 10-year-olds to do it. So that's why we unionized. And so now the company still makes billions of dollars in profit, but everybody that works there has a house and a car too, and you know, can send their kids to college, and that's not too much to ask. And so that's why we unionize. I get mad at my union brothers and sisters that are angry about, you know, the occasional riot during these protests, and I'm like, it's some broken glass, right? Like, how the fuck you think we got a union, right? You think the West Virginia coal miners asked nicely for better wages? Shit, no, man. They got rifles. They took over train cars. They fought the fucking army. Like, that's how you get shit done. That's how Shells of Chains happens. So, yeah. Now even the least paid workers, I mean the janitors at our factories, now at least make enough money to buy a small house and have a decent car and not have to stress over their family, you know, not getting fed, right? And that's all we want for workers, right? Nobody's getting rich except for the guys at the top still. You know, I'm about as high on the pay scale as you can get in there and still be an hourly worker, because I'm skilled trades. I've got a trade skill that I apprenticed for and you know, went through classes and schooling for years, and even I'm not a rich guy, not by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, there's no doubt that McDonald's is underpaying them, Mr. Ortiz. I'm a punch up guy, right? When I feel like I'm not getting enough, I don't get mad at the people below me that are maybe getting as much as me. I don't get mad at poor people. I get mad at the people above me. I punch up. And so I get mad at my employer. And I'm like, hey man, maybe you could buy one less yacht a year and help some people out, you know? I'm just not a punch down kind of guy. Because rest assured that the people above you want you punching down because they're the ones screwing you. So the more you're mad at poor people and immigrants and shit like that, the more they're off the hook. They love that shit. All right, so with this one we go for our Kree team. This is my normal Kree team. I use these guys on defense. But we're going to kick these minions out, and we're going to pick up these two lovely ladies right here, Captain Marvel and Minerva. And this makes this... did Texas freeze rent? I hadn't heard that. That's actually... That's nice. You know, I would love it if somebody would freeze my mortgage right now, but, you know, I mean, I'm keeping it up, but my income is taking a hit. My expendable income is taking a hit, so I got less to spend now on things like Marvel Strike Force. But I'm still, you know, I'm still kind of minorly wailing out, but not a whole lot. Oh man, are you in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? That's high property value right there. Or maybe down in Houston. I grew up down in Houston. Midland. Oh. Well, howdy. I went to a lot of my schooling I went to down in Harris County in Houston. You know, used to take my summer trips to Galveston. My mother lived down there up until about 5 years ago, and then she moved here to Kentucky to be around me and my brother. He lives right on the other side of that window there. I've lived all over this great land. Well, when I lived in, Ford ain't really ever moved me nowhere. They moved me all over, but the money they give you barely covers any expenses when it comes to moving across the country. I can tell you that from experience. I've had to do it 5 times now. But no, I lived in Texas as a kid, and we moved out there because you know, my dad was a pipe fitter that was moving all around the country in the 70s looking for work, and he got a job out there working for an oil company, Diamond Shamrock. And so we moved out there, and then my parents divorced when he had to leave there and go to another job. So we stayed. My mom had a decent job with a company that made oil drill heads, the French company called Schlumberger. And then she retired from there. And then after she retired, and you know, she started, you know, getting a little older. She wanted to be closer to her kids. So at that point, I had been moving all over the country chasing this Ford job. And I've been to Missouri twice. I started in St. Louis. I went to Nashville. I ended up back in Missouri and Kansas City. Now I'm here in Kentucky. And I got my brother on here. So when the baby of the family got hired on here, she decided she's going to go and pick up and come. And so she's here living with us now. She lives across town, and I am really hoping that I can get a negative back on this COVID test so that I can go back to taking care of her. Because she ain't got nobody over there with her. She lives alone. She's getting pretty old. Her damn neighbor's dog bit her the other day, and I can't go over and help her. Because I want to see her, but I don't want to see her bad enough that it'll be the last time I see her. Can't risk it. But yeah, as far as I know, Ford doesn't have any plants in Texas. Closest would be, I think they got a small warehouse facility in Memphis. There used to be a glass plant in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My father worked there for a while. Oh man, you're even more widely traveled than I am. There's very few non-domestic locations that Ford's going to send you to. It's mostly places here in the States. And over the course of a 25-year career, I have had to move a lot. Yeah, I used to think the same thing when I was a kid, Scott. I used to think the same thing when I was a kid. Schlumberger. That's what it said on the sign. That's what it said on the sign, right? Schlumberger. You know, you're an American kid looking at that. Right? It looks like Schlumberger. But I had this executive. Oh, no. Schlumberger. Okay. Yeah, they're a pretty big monolithic company at this point. They got their fingers in a lot of pies. But my mother worked for the division that did drilling heads for oil companies. She was the editor for their company newsletter for a long time. She got to travel the world doing that. And it's like that a lot of companies right now, Mr. Ortiz. A lot of companies. And Scott, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, I really wish that I could have stayed my whole life in North Alabama, where I'm from. I got a lot of cousins who did. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm probably a lot more open-minded and more well-rounded than a lot of them. So, you know, maybe it's a mixed blessing, but still, there's no place in this world I'd rather be. Except maybe Nashville. I did 12 years in Nashville, got married there, got divorced there. But I got a lot of friends still in the area, and I really love Middle Tennessee. And it's just like a hop, skip, and a jump to where I'm from there, which makes things, you know, it's nice to be close to your family, but not actually living amongst them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, anyway, moving on. I'm looking forward to getting old Squirrel Girl open. Not enough that I really want to go buy her, but I'm looking forward to that event getting started up. Yeah, what I'm looking at right now is there's ample opportunities for overtime because we have so many people getting sick. The problem is that our protocols are insufficient, and we're well on our way to turning into the next meat packing plant that they're going to be talking about on the news, because half of our people don't think it's a big deal, and you know they're fucking. There's like 3 people in my department that are taking, like, either have recently taken or are taking soon vacations in Florida, and you know, like I say, this. I mean, I'm looking at getting sick right now. Because one jackass went to a wedding, and then after his whole family got sick, he's like, well, hell with it. I'm going to keep going to work anyway. I feel fine. It's all a big hoax anyhow. You know, it's just a flu. But his wife ended up in the hospital. And he did end up running a fever, and then they wouldn't let him in the gate. But by the time they caught him running a fever, he's infected a bunch of people. Like, so far, 7 positive cases from him and counting. And then I was never even around him. But I was around one of the people he infected. So there's enough of a lag or a delay on the contact tracing protocols that they're not really getting to people quickly enough to warn them, you know. And so people are coming in, they're working overtime in different departments on different shifts, they're spreading it around. Oh, no. I am not a Trump supporter. I have voted Republican in the past, but the current state of the Republican Party is not something that I can get behind. And I lean Democrat because you know, even though I am consistently disappointed in the Democratic Party, between the party that pays me lip service and does nothing for me and the party that actively wants to destroy my livelihood, I'll go for the do-nothings, right? I mean, if that's what I got to choose between. I find that I am becoming more progressive as I get older. Perhaps I'm just learning empathy. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see now. I got 4, but I don't want to run through that whole thing myself. We'll let the Mortys have a shot at it. Yeah, no, I mean, I knew he was a terrible person before he ever ran for office, and so that entire Trump phenomenon is something I don't really get. But I'm a union guy, right? And I want to slap every union man that I hear say, "Oh, he's a good businessman." It's like, no, he screws workers. That's what he does, right? He'll contract people to do work for him. They'll build him a building, and then he'll refuse to pay. And then they have to lawyer up and take him to court. And contractor after contractor's gone under. And so many working men did not receive their paychecks because of the way he does business. So that alone is a big reason why I can't get behind him. And then all the other bullshit, you know, and also the fact that he's just so breathtakingly stupid make it difficult for me to support the man. Now he's in the office, and I really hope that he does well, but it doesn't seem to be going that way. This whole COVID thing is getting way out of control. I don't know why you would politicize something like wearing masks. Like, just do it, for fuck's sake. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me. None of it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. It's you know, when you really parse it out, it's pretty frightening. Okay, so we've done our raids, and we've done Dark Dimension 3. Let's see what we got on daily objectives. Arenas and Blitz. All right, we might actually have another arena fight we can do. Where are we at on that? We're in 3rd place, so let me take 2nd. Well, I understand you wanting to support your business. I mean, really, honestly, you know, a reduction in oil doesn't really, I mean, I'm in the car company industry, right? So we're kind of tied to oil, but at some point, I can't completely vote with my own wallet. And especially when it's a political movement based around such tragic stupidity that it is now putting all of our lives in danger. I fear what will happen. I fear if he gets a 2nd term, he'll also get a 3rd, and this whole thing will fall apart. So I'm going to flip back, because he who flips last flips best in this Black Order versus Black Order mirror matchup. Then we're going to buff up. We're going to try to keep Proxima alive. We're going to hope. There we go. Got his Corvus, which is a good start because that's a lot of his DPS. Thanos, of course, does a lot himself. But I find when I have a 7 red star Thanos and a 7 red star Corvus, Corvus still does more like single target damage, especially against somebody with high defense because of all of his piercing. But Thanos, man, Thanos just can hardly be matched. An empowered Thanos is probably the best character in the game right now. Really, bar none. Yep. I don't think most of his base travels much, or is really at all even peripherally aware of the rest of the world. For instance, Thomas is a Scandinavian. He's from Denmark, And as far as they're concerned, he's a communist, right? I mean, they're not really well informed as to the rest of the world in general. And so, yeah, that has become dangerous thanks to this pandemic. All right, so I'm not going to take number 1 right now. We're just going to chill at 2. And what I'll do is I'll come back when this timer is out. You see this 7.5 hour timer here. So what I want to do is sit at number 2 all day, and then 10 minutes or so before that timer's up, I want to snipe number 1. Because if I'm sitting at number 1 all day, you know, I'm a sitting duck, right? It's out of my hands. I have no control over anything. If I'm sitting at number 2 with a 550K team, most people don't bother to attack me. They'll just jump me and go after number 1. So if I wait and snipe, I have a much better chance of finishing the day at number 1, because that's all that really matters, is who's number 1 when that timer ends. The rest of the day doesn't matter. So that's pretty much my strategy on Arena. And let's see here. Do we got anything else going besides war? We can do a couple of blitzes. We got the milestones yesterday, so 2 is all we need to do. So if you have any matchups you would like to see, we'll try to find it. You just shout them out in chat, and I will try to. I'll try to hunt them up. Got a lot of good teams to pick from, and I'll try to find them whatever opponent you'd like to see them fight. But otherwise, we can just do our 2 best teams and move on. All right, Mr. Ortiz, you have a good day at work, sir. We'll see you later. So let's see here then. We'll just we'll do X-Men and Black Order then. Let's take the strongest team. Pretty sure we can knock them out. Not going to be a big problem. This team's gotten so good for me that even an 8-3 of Blitz, I don't even, like, Phoenix doesn't even die half the time, and we still win easily. Just because Cyclops does so much damage, etc. Oh, that didn't necessarily work out to my favor, but we'll be all right. That's really on me. I could have foreseen that he was going to clone that Phoenix. Good assist. We needed to get that clone dead for sure. And now we're in good shape. There goes Minerva, and we're definitely, it's all over but the crying now. And like I said, that's Cyclops. Cyclops steals Phoenix's thunder. He's so good. Was a great addition to the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Beast changes up the interplay on this team. I don't think he's going to be that desirable for me, but if you're a mid-game player coming through the ranks and you're looking to open up all of those tier 7 nodes, and oh yeah, I got a 7 gold star Cyclops. Absolutely. 5 red, 7 gold. 88K. And so if you're a mid-game player coming up the ranks, then it might be very beneficial for you to have a Beast, because you'll be able to use your Phoenix to get yourself through challenges and difficult campaign nodes, and still be able to 3-star them. And then I might pick him up for that later if they add in more levels of challenges. But thankfully, I got good people like Thomas who have been pushing me to finish out my challenges, because I was pretty lazy about it actually. And so now I've got them all done. So I don't really have a whole lot of use for that. I've got all the campaign nodes open. So he's not immediately useful to me, but I can see how down the road he's probably going to be a good character for me to have. Yeah, I wailed out on him a little bit, getting him early. It was hard not to with the, X-Men, right? X-Men. I mean, it's like the only like really cool Marvel team that's still good in this game, right? Like Avengers is crapola, and it's all very disappointing. But let's go ahead and we'll buy a couple of energy and make a few attacks here and move the ball. You see my Avengers team lives down here with my hand team, right? Like I'm not using them for much. I'll go ahead and use Sinister Six. Probably not going to need them today. Probably not going to need anybody today. Looks like this is going to be completely 100% all autofill teams. These people want to lose. There we go. What happened? What happened? I missed it. Did you guys see that? I missed it. I kind of always liked the X-Men. I mean, maybe like the earliest X-Men stuff I was not a big fan of. I was always more of a Spider-Man kid, and I read the hell out of Punisher War Journal. Loved that. Loved that. I probably did like X-Men better than Avengers back in the day. But man, I was into some weird kind of offbeat Marvel comics. I did read Power Man and Iron Fist. I loved all of the Spider-Man stuff, right? Exactly, man. Everybody loves Spider-Man. Spider-Man's awesome. But I tell you what, like, there's one of my favorite characters is never talked about, and I would love to see in this game. Most people are completely unaware he even exists. But I was a huge fan of a rag called Rom Space Knight, and it was just about this robot alien. Like I was on board from like I picked up the first episode and immediately subscribed. The first issue, excuse me. Let's see if we can one shot the whole team. Good job, Negasonic. Good job. Yeah, Rom Space Knight. That is a character I would love to see in this game, but probably never will. But yeah, I mean, I was an X-Men fan, but I was really more of a Wolverine fan, right? I loved following the Wolverine solo stuff, Weapon X, all that. Obviously Spider-Man. I remember when I was younger, what was that? What year was that series? Like they pushed everything 100 years into the future, and so it was like, I can't remember, 20 something, 2022, something like that. I can't remember. It wasn't quite 100 years, but they completely like just did a reset and did like a futuristic Marvel universe, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I read a lot of those. There was a Spider-Man 2020 and was it 2040 maybe? I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. I could probably Google it pretty quickly. But yeah, it had a really cool new Spider-Man character there. It's a Vac G-Hack attack. That's right. That's right. Although I don't think Stormcloud comes into the streams, but still. All right, and there we go. That's it. This should pretty much finish this up, and we can get to working on bridge. All right, so most of my Mortys are familiar with this call out. Swarm that bridge, Morty. Full clear. Okay. Man, What If was incredible, right? I loved What If. What If? I'm really, really looking forward to the What If animated program that they're going to come out with on Disney Plus. In fact, that may right now be the easiest one for them to do as far as the Marvel Disney Plus shows. Because they can largely do that remotely and from home. So hopefully we'll see it, right? I mean, it looked to me like they were already pretty well into production on it. I saw a lot of information about a lot of different episodes that will be coming in that first season. So I'm really excited about What If. I remember one of my favorite What Ifs growing up that I owned was a What If Wolverine fought Conan. And that one, because I did read a lot of Conan comics as well, and that was pretty damn good. That was pretty damn good. The basic gist was Conan won, but Wolverine came back to life with his regeneration powers and then defeated Conan, and so it was they both won basically. It was pretty badass. It was pretty badass. Okay, so that looks like. I got Disney Plus now. I'm enjoying it. There's some good stuff on there. I've really been enjoying The Mandalorian and some of the Star Wars stuff that I had never seen, like Rebels and the Clone Wars, the animated stuff that Dave Filoni did. Great stuff. I think Dave Filoni is the future of Star Wars. Him and Jon Favreau. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those. And I really am glad to hear they're going to just basically just ignore and wipe out those last three movies and just pretend they didn't happen and rewrite the end of the story. That's a good thing for me. I mean, I was ready to love it, and it just wasn't that great, right? It just was. None of those movies were that great. And besides, you get Han Solo back and you kill him in 15 minutes. Like, what the hell? I didn't care that much for it. But yeah, there are no Marvel shows yet, so it's always. I mean, it's almost worth it for me just for that show that's got shit. Oh, the guy who played the Grandmaster. I'm trying to think of his name. Anyway, he's got a show on there. There's like a reality show where he's like, "Oh, let's find out how things are made," and really killed the person responsible for the delay. Jeff Goldblum. Thank you very much, Thomas. That is exact. I knew it was Jeff something. I was trying to come up with it. Yeah, that guy is cool as hell, man, and I'm just a big fan. And so I've been enjoying his show that's on, like, I think it's on Discovery or something like that. Not Discovery. I'd have to look it up, but it's under the Disney family. So his show is on Disney Plus. But mostly I've just been watching Star Wars on there. So anyway, kind of at an impasse on anything left to do here. Let's see about raising some teams real quick. Let me see. I need to look into. This is my current project. Is I want to get all of my Blitz teams above 400K so that I can really max out scores when I'm going hard on Blitz. So we got Power Armor just over 400K. We got Asgard just over 400K. We're working on Fantastic Four. So let's peel back to the Fantastic Four and see what we can do there. All right, so the thing is 74.7. Let me go take a quick look at where. I wish there was a way I could sort this and put Namor in the mix here. So he's 76. Okay, so that's all I needed to know. So we go back to Fantastic Four. Thomas is one of Thomas's favorite teams, and we're going to put some points into these guys and try to get them all up to 76 or better, and spend some of this stuff that we picked up when we finished our Dimension 3, put it to good use, widening out our roster, making ourselves more well-rounded. Although we're now quickly out of isomers, and I'm gonna resist the urge to buy any. So that's just an incremental jump in that direction. We'll just need to keep farming isomers, but we still have plenty of T4 gear that we're going to be well set up for advancement in the future. Let's see, what does that put me to? 10 points, almost 10.7. almost 10.7 million collection power. So we're moving right along. We're advancing. You know, I'm sure I'm still in the high 80s. I'm not really too worried about it, even if I fall into the 90s. I know I'll catch up when I finish DD3 for the second time. So that's not a big deal. Yeah, that's weird, right? We've done nothing but punch up for months. You're right about that. And now all of a sudden, in 1 week's time, we have 2 shell alliances that are just easy peasy. Easy peasy. I am not T14 all the symbiotes. I still need to do Venom. And I only need one more piece of gear on him, and I'm held up on mini uniques. I need some of those molecular scans. This is basically all we're held up on, and then we'll finish out Venom. And I should be able, hopefully, to do that before I get to the city phase for the second time. So, yeah, I guess I'm out of stuff to do, guys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back tonight for a 9 p.m. stream. For now, I'm going to post some recruiting graphics into Facebook and various Discords and try to fill up the Morty Juniors. We got about 6 spots open. Oh, you're right. I shouldn't have used that bio for Fantastic Four. Yeah, we'll catch up. It'll be all right. Anyway, we'll get there. So yeah, that's going to conclude Mortytown TV for the morning. We're going to be back tonight, so I'll see you then. I'm going to do some recruiting and do some administrative stuff and maybe get some work done around the house while I still feel good. So until I see you again, you guys be cool. Keep gaming. No, I did not see you got 6 red stars for Squirrel Girl. Congratulations on that pull. I pulled 6 red stars for Karnak yesterday. I was pretty happy about that. I mean, certainly there's better characters, but it still is a nice improvement. So congratulations on that, Thomas. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to get some administrative stuff done and maybe cook myself up some lunch. So I'll see you guys tonight. Morty's, I'll be watching the war and keeping things rolling. Good for you, man. You should go ham on her. She's going to be a decent character. I'm going to go hard on her event is what I'm going to do. So you guys be cool. Keep gaming. I'm Vac, and I'm out of here.